guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. You may have seen my recent video where I was just emptying out my scraps box. Not really emptying it out, but using some of the scraps. Because since doing the Tidy Friday, I'm really trying to keep on top of my stuff. So I've decided that this is something I'm going to do. This is my literally kind of paper scraps. It's actually a lid from IKEA. Of the box, and all I'm going to do is, you know, once this starts overflowing, like it kind of had got to that point, I'm just going to whittle it down by just using some of the scraps up, so that it really hopefully should never get like above the height of the actual lip of the lid. And I think that's going to help me to really keep on top of my mess, fingers crossed, hopefully. So I just thought I'd quickly come and show you my finished pieces and what I actually did, because if you did watch that video, I'd obviously made a few things with the scraps, and then I was making a snippet roll, and I think my camera was running out of charge or something, so I had to kind of cut it short. So I just thought I would come on and just show you my very finished snippet roll, which I absolutely love how it turned out. It's really, really pretty, isn't it? I haven't stitched it or anything, as you can see. It's just merely glued together, so I may stitch it, I may just leave it. But I thought that I would come on and show you that, so I'll just pop that to one side. And then what else I did was, with some other of the, you know, the scraps, because it was still quite full, I just made a whole bunch of my little stitched labels. I did a tutorial on these a few weeks ago, or a few videos ago. So I just literally took some of the scraps that, you know, lent themselves to making some of my stitched labels. So they're those, and I can put them then into my, you know, stitched labels pile, ready to go and ready to use in journals. And then I also made these two absolutely gorgeous Matchbox flippy books. I love how these turned out. So I may do a little video on making some more of these, because I just absolutely love them. Just, oh, they turned out absolutely yummy. So yeah, I just used literally a couple of the food coloured papers and then some of the scraps, and then just topped them with some of my glue book favourites pieces, and I just love how they turned out. So again, these are now ready to go into my kind of ready-made ephemera box, along with the labels. And then obviously my box now is much more manageable to, you know, to have kind of on hand, rather than overflowing sort of everywhere. So what I've got here is a whole bunch. Let me just move these off the desk now. Hold on. A whole bunch of book pages. And these are some of the book pages that we tore out from when I was doing my altered book, or, you know, whilst I was preparing my altered book. So I thought that we could come along and have a play and just see what we can conjure up and make with some of these pages, because obviously, you know, lots of you kind of request and say that you would like to see more ways to use up pages. So I just thought that we would come up and just do a whole bunch of projects just using some of these pages. Okay, so it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag video, really, because what I've pulled along, and I think I have talked about this recently, but maybe not, I can't really remember, is I have recently bought this beeswax pellets. I've seen loads of people using this. Obviously, the first person I saw using these was Laurie, Girl on a Ridge. And then I've recently seen Andrea from Artie Mays using it, and Yvonne Preston, I saw her using some. So they're really, you know, fun to use, and obviously, you know, couldn't resist kind of buying some. So I got mine from Amazon. It's a 500 gram packet. I am going to transfer these into some sort of jar, you know, as part of kind of trying to get a bit more tidy and organised in here. But at the moment, they're still in the packet. And then I also bought myself, this is a Russell Hobbs travel iron. Now, I just searched for, what did I search for? I think I searched for quilting irons. Now, they came up all different types and what have you. This seemed to be the cheapest one. I think it was about $12.99. So I mean, not super cheap or anything, but I hadn't really bought anything for a while. Obviously during the lockdown I didn't really buy anything, so I thought, you know, I'll treat myself to that, and obviously the bee pollen, so I can keep that iron kind of right up here on my craft area. And then as soon as it arrived, I couldn't wait to obviously get playing with it. So I'm just going to, in the first instance, just go over some of these book pages with some of the bee pollen. Obviously, as you can see, some actually dripped off the iron from the last usage whilst I was even showing you the iron, because it's obviously plugged in now. So all I'm going to do is go over some of my book pages, and I mean, I couldn't even tell you what setting this iron's on. I just, you know, plugged it in and went with whatever setting it was actually on. So I don't think you need to be too fussy about the, you know, the heat of the iron. The bee pollen does come in white pellets and yellow. I have to say, I ordered the yellow because that's what I've seen others be, you know, using in the main. I have to say now I'm tempted to order some in the white, you know, just to see the contrast. So yeah, I might order myself some more in the white, I think. But I mean, these pellets do go a long way, so they're going to hopefully last, you know, a really long time. You know, so they're quite economical once you've actually bought them, and obviously once you've bought your iron. So I'm just going to go over some of these book pages, and what happens is they turn this gorgeous sort of translucent, just check that I haven't got to, translucent, like greaseproof paper type texture. So they're really then lovely and just really a bit different. So I'm going to just do some of those with my bee pollen. So that's going to then prepare them for using in different ways on some different things. So I'm just trying to gather up some of these pellets because they're a little bit, what's the word? Well, because they're little tiny balls, really. I mean, obviously they go everywhere, and of course I'm quite a messy person, so I'm likely to just have these like buried on my desk forevermore. So that's not really ideal. So we just go over those like that, and just literally preparing some book pages, just so that I've got some different types of effect, really, to use the book pages. So again, just iron that out. And I mean, I just find these wax, I mean, literally it's only just arrived, you know, a few days ago. So I've only used it literally a couple of times previously. So I'm certainly, you know, not claiming to be an expert here or anything like that. But the couple of times that I have used it so far, they seem very forgiving. And, you know, whatever you do, if you put on too much, see, I have this glut of pollen here. You can just, or not pollen, sorry, the beeswax pellets. If you just iron it and spread it out, it just then kind of disperses it across your project. So I think it's kind of quite an easy thing to use. I know that when I saw Laurie on Girl on a Ridge using hers, I thought, oh, that looks a bit complicated, because it was quite a long time ago, and probably, you know, before I'd, well, I'm not saying I'm brave now, but, you know, got a bit braver. But actually, it really is really, really simple. So that's literally all that you have to do. So I'm going to go through and just iron a few more onto these, and then I'll come back once I've got a few done. I won't keep you on because that would be so boring for you. Okay, so I've got a bunch of book pages here now, all, you know, waxed up. And they're just really, really nice, I think. So they just add a little bit sort of extra to your projects. So I thought what we could do is just make some very, you know, basic kind of rudimentary pockets from these. So if I just move those to one side so as I'm not trying to work with kind of tons, literally by just folding the pocket over there and then the pocket over just to meet there at the kind of lip there, like, oops, so sorry, that's my doorbell, would you believe? I've only just pressed record again, hold on. Okay, he was just delivering my ink. Right, I'm back now, so let me just move my iron out the way before I scald my hand on that. It is switched off, but obviously it's still hot until it cools down. Right, so we folded this over, and this then could be a pocket up this way or obviously up this way, but it's just got that kind of extra texture and appearance to it. And I mean, it goes kind of a bit transparent with the beeswax process, so I just love the way that looks, really. Now these kinds of pockets, I mean, you could fold them up at the bottom and trim them down. Or you could just leave them, you know, glue them down or stitch them on the sewing machine. So literally, I'm going to just do that. Now I quite like this kind of torn rough edge, so I'm going to actually leave that. So I'm going to go all along there, put that down here, and then I'm just going to glue down here and obviously here, like that. And then just with my wipe, just press them together so that they're stuck down. Okay. Now I've got a bit of cracking here going on. I think that's probably from the beeswax, so, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. And weirdly, it only really seems to be on that side. Oh, it is a bit on here actually. So I'm going to have this one as a sort of upways pocket. Now I've also ordered recently a 1.5 inch circle punch because I only had a 1 inch, and I thought sometimes I could just do with a slightly bigger one. So I'm going to just use this here just to make a thumb hole in the top of my pocket. Like that. Oops. Nearly slid straight off the desk. And then I'm just going to decorate it up with a few little bits and pieces. So I've got here one of my vintage photographs actually. Just before I commit to that, I think I might prefer this lady. So I'm just going to ink her up and also the pocket itself. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're, you know, doing some nice projects and having fun. I mean, crafting just, you know, that's the main thing, isn't it? It should be fun. As soon as it starts getting a bit stressful, then, you know, it's not a good time anymore. So, you know, because sometimes I do find myself stressing because I think, oh, you know, I don't do this or I can't do that. But do you know what? I just think actually stick with what you can do. And, you know, there's always going to be a ton of things that you can do. And, you know, I mean, who knows, maybe you can do most things, but, you know, we all probably have things that we're better or worse at. So just go with the flow and, you know, don't get stressed about other things that maybe you know, you haven't kind of mastered yet. I mean, I'm the world's worst for, you know, stressing about, oh, I wish I could do this, or, oh, I haven't done that. And to be honest, you know, who cares really? The only person who's kind of getting stressed about it probably is you. So, I mean, I might just kind of layer that up like that. Looks really pretty. So again, I'm just going to ink up this little flower. I'm not going to ink up this decorative paper because actually it's, you know, quite, well, I was going to say inked. It's not inked obviously, but it's quite a good colour anyway. It didn't really need kind of inking. It's you know, it looks good on there anyway. So I'm just going to pop that down there like that. Okay, oops, not very straight on there actually. I'm going to put it flush with the edge, I think. There we go. Okay. And then my lady, I'm just going to have her there, and I'm thinking perhaps I could have a word. Might use one of my black words, I think. Yeah, I think they would be really nice. So let's just do unique. The other person I saw do a really lovely video with the beeswax was the lovely Siobhan at Pearl and Button. She did a beautiful video using her beeswax. She has such a lovely calm way about her, and she just creates the most gorgeous things. So yes, if you're looking for other inspiration to use beeswax, then she is another absolutely gorgeous video. I will try and remember to link her video below because yeah, I really enjoyed watching her create with the beeswax. So it would be, you know, really nice, I think. I think a lot of you would really enjoy it if you haven't seen it already. And, you know, likewise, if you haven't actually seen her channel previously before, she just does the most gorgeous work anyway. So I'm sure that you would all, you know, love her work. So I'm just going to trim that across there. So I want it kind of hanging out beyond my picture, if you see what I mean. So more like that. So I think what I'm going to do is just hot glue this on, and then that just literally, that will then, you know, go over the lace and clamp the lace down as well. So it's a kind of speedy way to just attach the lace as well. Okay. And then I'm just going to ink the word up a little bit. And then, yeah, the flowers look really pretty on there, don't they? I mean, this has actually turned out quite a big pocket, to be fair. I didn't quite factor in how big this pocket was going to turn out, but they're quite big book pages in this particular book. They're slightly bigger, I would say, than the normal book pages. Let me just grab some of my crochet lace and see whether that might look nice across the bottom. We could have some there. Just wondering whether I need a bigger flower. I've got some more flowers, but I think they're bigger. No, not those. They've got a red on them. I don't really want the red. Oh, come on. Yeah, I think they're bigger. Just in danger of all my book pages sliding off the desk here. Hold on. Right, so I mean, these have obviously got a leaf, but that's fine. I don't mind the leaf. Yeah, that's really pretty, isn't it? So again, I'm just going to hot glue this down. It's just really quick and easy, and it does just clamp that lace in place at the same time. So, you know, it's really an easy way to attach your pieces, really. Now, do we like that lace down there or up here? I wonder if we could have it in both places. So let's just trim this down here. Like that. Ooh. Like that. And I wonder if... I mean, to be honest, although that feels like it's a bit, you know, like overkill with all that lace, I quite like it, weirdly enough. You know, there's something kind of quite nice about that, I think. So yeah, I might just have to put it down in both places, I think. So let's just pop that down across the top. Oops, sorry. Is that coming out? Oh, I can't really see. Can't really see. Yeah, hopefully that's coming out. Okay. So I'll just pop that one down. Oh, now I've put that the wrong way up. Ugh. Okay, and then we're going to have our word. I might even have the word up here now on the lace. Oh, I don't know about that actually. Right, let's put the lace down at the bottom. Yeah, so back to what I was, you know, waffling on about just now. The reason why I said about, you know, do what you can do is because, you know, some of the things I find a little bit too fiddly to have a go at. And the beeswax, although I thought was going to be, you know, another one of those things, actually it was so nice because it was something really, you know, nice and doable and something that I could easily do. So you know, I think there's always something you can find that will suit you. And it, you know, it might not be the beeswax, it might be something else, but it's always nice when you find that thing, isn't it? Just wondering whether I want those flowers there as well. I mean, I might be getting a little bit fussy now. Well, to be honest, we could have them there, kind of on the where that thumb hole is. And the other reason I say that is because, can you see where I've folded this over? I can see the fold. Now, obviously I'm going to trim that down because it's overhanging a bit. So that will disguise it slightly, but I'm still not keen that I can see where that joins. So if I have the flower there, just across that thumb hole, it will just literally cover up slightly where that happens. So I'm going to, again, just use my hot glue. It's just really quick and easy. And then I've covered up that entire piece. So where it joins now at the back of the pocket is completely covered up, and you can't see that now. So just the most simple pockets, to be honest. Absolutely, you know, does not get any easier than that, does it? So let's make another one of those. And I've got obviously some more of the, you know, now beeswaxed paper. And this time we'll fold it in and we'll do it sideways on. So again, just fold your paper over like that. I mean, you know, truly, I just love simple things. So, I mean, for me, this is like, you know, an awesome project because these pockets are so simple. They just couldn't really be any simpler. But I also think they're really nice. You know, they're not kind of any less cute. Oh, would you believe it? Hold on a minute. Okay. Right. Where were we? We were just going to stick this together now as a sideways on pocket. So exactly the same as the other one. I'm just going to glue down on the flap bits that will be at the back and then run the glue straight along the bottom. I mean, again, you could sew these along that bottom bit. I personally don't think they really need it. I think they look, you know, super cute just glued. I mean, you could, I guess, stitch around here, but all you're actually going to probably do is then make your pocket narrower, because at the moment you've got a really roomy pocket there. And if you stitch that in, you're going to actually make your pocket kind of tighter to get in. So, you know, personally, I don't think it's worth doing that, but, you know, of course, you may prefer doing that. So I'm just thinking, shall we use some of our lovely snippet roll that we made with the scraps? Because, of course, you know, that would be a double whammy, wouldn't it? Because we would be using up some of our scraps and the book pages at the same time. So I've just torn this little section off here. Just got a bit sort of the book page hanging out behind it. Now, as I say, I've not stitched this, obviously, as you can see, it's just glued. So what I'm going to do is, in the first instance, I'm just going to ink this around. So I'm thinking we could possibly do a little series of using up book pages. Yeah, maybe this could be like episode 1 of that. So I don't know whether I've got enough ideas really for a little series, but I'll see how it goes. It might be fun to do. So if I decide I have got enough things to do, then obviously I'll do a little trailer so as you know kind of what's coming up. I think it's nice to know, you know, what's coming up and what to expect really. So yeah, I will let you know. Right, got a bit of doily I think can go behind there. Just wondering whether we could have a little stamp somewhere. Little postage stamp or something. And obviously I've got the stamps from the stamps on the book that I used, the book page that I used, but oh, maybe they didn't look quite as good as I hoped. Hold on. What about a number? I mean, the numbers I just love because they just seem to look good everywhere, don't they? You know, they're quite a versatile thing that just seem to go with everything. So yeah, perhaps we'll have a little number. Don't necessarily want a green one. Let's have a look. I still haven't printed off any more numbers. Oh, look, my shoddy tidying. I've now got a book plate in with the numbers. Oh, that's quite nice, having a smaller one, actually. Yeah. Right, so I'm just going to glue this doily down. Oops. Okay. And just have that like that. And then I'm just going to pop this little bit of the snippet on, and I'd laid this here kind of thinking, you know, maybe we will have some lace on the edge, or would we like some lace at the bottom? I mean, to be honest, it's really nice kind of either end, isn't it? Got this lace, let me just try this. Oh, that's really pretty, isn't it? I mean, that's super decorated. Yeah, super decorated, but it is really nice, isn't it? Yeah, perhaps I will do that. Okay, so I'm just now thinking what's the best way to do it. So I think probably the best way is to actually attach the lace a little bit. So I'm just going to put some of the Fabri-Tac here just to kind of like have a base for the lace. Okay, so we're just going to put that down like that. Now I'm going to put my number tab down. Come on. Okay. Just want to kind of check where I need it to be. So about there. Okay. And then the snippet roll, this time I will just Fabri-Tac this down rather than the hot glue. Partly because this might end up quite stiff if I hot glue it, because you've already got obviously a few layers of paper in that snippet roll. So I don't want it to end up kind of like a huge cardboard piece on the front. I mean, it's not going to end up like that, but you know, it just helps to keep it a bit more delicate if I just use the Fabri-Tac. So like that. Just seeing. Is that weird? Is that weird? Probably is a bit weird, to be honest, but yeah, it was just there, so I just did wonder. So I'm just going to trim this down, and on this side as well. Oops. Okay. And then I think we'll just have the crochet lace just at this end as well, because that just then, you know, looks really pretty on either end. I'll just hot glue this one down because it's just, you know, really quick. Like that. Okay. And then you've got obviously your opening pocket at the side. So, I mean, it's a really gorgeous pocket, isn't it? And let's just see if we want any sort of butterfly or something on there. Might just kind of finish it off just nicely. I know that's humongous, you know, a huge butterfly on there, but sometimes, you know, that looks kind of cool. Yeah, I think I might put that there. So again, I'm just going to hot glue that down like that. And then you know what we haven't included yet? We've got no bling on here whatsoever. So let's have a bit of bling. Oops. So let's just pull some of my lovely black bling in. It's good to just trim this down so as I have a sort of manageable size then to use. That's quite nice up there, but I'm just thinking, now that's got a very long body on that butterfly. Wow, that has got a long body. So, wow, we'd need quite a bit. So, therefore, I might not go for this, but just see. Well, I don't think it's really covering up his body very much. Oops. And then I was thinking we could have this bit here, but then that's a bit strange, isn't it? Because we've got huge bling on the butterfly and then teeny weeny bit over here. So perhaps we won't have any on the butterfly and we'll just have some here. Okay. There we go. Oops. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Right, so that's those little pockets. So you can see that you can have them, you know, either way up. If I just pull in the other one, oops. You know, they're both absolutely lovely, aren't they? And if I just pull in, oh, I haven't got a journal on the go at the moment, but if I just pull in a plain sheet just to show you how that would look on a journal page. So you could have it up this way, obviously in there, and you could glue that down actually on 3 sides, and you'd have then, you know, a side-on pocket and obviously a top-loading pocket. And then this one, exactly the same. So you've got your side pocket here, but exactly the same as the other one in that you could glue it on 3 sides, and you'd have a top loading pocket and then the side loading pocket. So I mean, it's obviously just the same as this, but on the reverse. So they're really nice pockets, aren't they? And honestly, you know, as pockets go, they just couldn't really be any simpler, could they? But I just think they're, you know, sometimes just easy is best, isn't it? So yeah, I hope that you like them, and I hope it's, you know, giving you a little bit of ideas with your book pages. I mean, obviously, if you haven't got the beeswax, don't worry, you know, the actual just pocket pages, they'd just be awesome, you know, without the beeswax. Obviously, the beeswax just adds that sort of extra dimension, I think, to the book page. So if I just bring in a little bit, you know, this is kind of the difference between the book page. So this is now very translucent, if you can see through there, which just adds another sort of dynamic, really. But I mean, obviously, if you're decorating them up, as we have done here, there's no reason why you couldn't just do these in plain book page. I mean, I probably just fancied playing with my beeswax a bit more. But yeah, if you haven't got beeswax, you know, feel free to make them with your just plain book pages, because they would work absolutely, you know, just as well. So I hope that you like them, and yeah, have a go at making some, and I hope you have fun. Any details I will hopefully link below, both Siobhan's video, and obviously hopefully I will remember to link the iron and the beeswax. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully see you again soon. Thanks then. Bye.